The Haunted Journey is an animated feature film from 2006. This is directed by Alexander Boyarskiy and written by Rosanne Reeves. And we have a voice cast including Brendan Charleson, Richard Elfyn, Siriol Jenkins, Keiron Self, and various others. And this is based on The Wizard of Oz. It is not a carbon copy of The Wizard of Oz. It's not a true adaptation, but it is very clearly very heavily inspired by The Wizard of Oz, because a tornado transports a girl called Dolly and her dog to the land of The Wizard of Oz, to Oz. And while she's there, she has to go and find the Emerald City and encounter characters such as the Scarecrow along the way. It's very difficult to not compare this to The Wizard of Oz. To be watching this and identify elements that are the same as The Wizard of Oz, and then look at elements that they've changed, and it just feels a little bit pointless, because it's not a direct adaptation, it's not exactly the same, but it's not so different that it feels like it serves a purpose. If it was tremendously loosely based on The Wizard of Oz, for example, it was just a story set in Oz with completely different characters, I'd think, okay, fair enough, you're taking inspiration from this particular location, but you're injecting new characters and new stories. But to have something that's so similar but also different, I just don't understand the point. Either do a true adaptation or do something completely different. So it just feels completely pointless. Let's say I'd never seen The Wizard of Oz. Would I have enjoyed this film? I would have said it's creative, and I still say it's creative. There are some creative elements. There are some creative character designs. I obviously would be thinking Oz is a really interesting place, or the Emerald City is an interesting place. So I would be thinking, yes, it's a creative film with an interesting enough story. Dolly is perfectly likable as a protagonist. Foxy, her dog, not Toto, but Foxy, is rather adorable. So judging it purely on its own, had I never seen or heard of The Wizard of Oz, I would have said it was creative and maybe a little bit different. But obviously, when it's so closely mirroring certain aspects of The Wizard of Oz, it just seems completely pointless. We have some good voice acting. The animation quality is not too bad. As a film on its own, I guess it's not terrible. The story works, it flows well, the characters are interesting, the animation style is fine. But I just don't understand the purpose. And I don't like the title either. I know that's a tiny nitpicky thing, but I really don't like the title. I think it's also called The Haunted Journey of Oz, according to the poster artwork that I'm looking at, but from where it's listed, it's also mostly listed as The Haunted Journey. Either way, I don't love the title. It doesn't sound magical or inviting. Do I recommend it? Only if you're an existing fan of The Wizard of Oz and you want to see what they've done with the story. If you're new to The Wizard of Oz, or indeed if you don't like The Wizard of Oz, you have no interest in that as a concept, I'd say no. It's not worth it. But if you're a fan of The Wizard of Oz, you want to see what they've done, check it out, give it a go. Personally, while I don't think it's a terrible film, I just don't really see the point.